Welcome to the StarPOWERPRENEUR Success Series. I'm Angelique Feaster Evans, your StarPOWER Success Strategist here, and I am indeed honored to interview a phenomenal young woman, Miss Erica Thomas, owner of AdPros Promotions and Advertising Agency. Erica, it is indeed a pleasure to have you. Welcome so very much for being with us.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yes, indeed. Well, you know, a StarPOWERpreneur is someone who spotlights their purpose, their passion, and their power. If you will, please share with the audience your definition of success.
My definition of success would be balance. And the reason I would say this is because some people think once you make a certain amount of money, then you're successful. For me, it's balance because there was a time in my life where I was doing great financially, but I was spending so much of my time working that I actually did not have any time for my family. I did not have any time for my friends. I was not going to church. My spiritual life was lacking. And so for me, now my goal is to have balance. I want to have that financial success, but I also want to have the relationship with God, work on my spiritual life, and I also want to work on my health.
Yes.
And I also want to have time to enjoy all that work that I've done by vacationing. So for me, balance is success.
Yes, because, and you're so right, Erica, because I think back, there was a time when I too would work, would not take time for self, let alone celebrate the successes.
Exactly.
So balance is indeed very important because, you know, really having and enjoying the fruits of our labor is just as important as laboring.
Exactly.
And you know, and being successful in that way. So thank you for sharing that part of the definition.
And think about that. They say, what profits a man if he gains the world but loses his soul?
Yes.
And think about that. So
Yes.
you have people who are doing well financially, but they're not happy.
Yes, that is a really valuable spiritual perspective to really look at how balance plays a big part in our lives. Thank you, Erica. Also, if you will, share with our viewers a little bit more about AdPros and what all you do.
Okay, AdPros is my baby. I started it in 2001. Okay, could not find a job. Graduated in marketing, came home and I was working with my aunt. So I decided in 2001 I was going to start my own company. So I started AdPros Promotion and Advertising. There was so much competition in marketing, so I found the niche to be promotional products. So I stayed with promotional products for a long time, knowing that I eventually wanted to get back into marketing. And once the competition got so thick with the promotional products, because when you have a lot of competition, then you're not competing based on quality, you're competing based on price. And you never want to put yourself in that situation. So I started to branch out. And so I started looking at other ways I can bring in income. And so I started with marketing and public relations. And then from there, with my sorority in 2005, I was the Charm Clinic chairperson. Loved it, absolutely loved it. The kids loved it. I loved doing the etiquette classes. And I said, I enjoy doing this. So I started pursuing etiquette more. I went and got certified from the Protocol School of Washington in 2010.
Yes.
And then 2015, last year, I went to the Etiquette and Leadership Academy. I've also found that I enjoy doing professional development. So I do professional development, customer service training, team building, conflict resolution. So I do all of those things in the company. So AdPros, what we do, marketing, PR, professional development training, and marketing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, you know, as you were mentioning about the etiquette part,
Yes.
that's how we first met. I remember doing the Charm Clinic at Lake
I
Bethlehem.
asked
That you asked me, and that's been a long time ago.
Yeah.
And so you have been developing manners and charm and etiquette for quite some time in our community and in our region.
Yes.
Working with youth, working with children, and also working with adults. And
I do
so
work with adults.
I think that's the part of your brand that a lot of people are not as fully aware of, because you do so many great things, which is a good thing. And so it just dawned on me that That's how we met, through your modern day etiquette programming.
Exactly.
Wonderful. Well, I'm looking for many other wonderful programmings that you'll be doing with that company, as well as the dynamic AdPros promotions and advertising agency, because we've talked about a few things that we're going to be needing as we move and elevate with StarPOWERPRENEUR, as well as the StarPOWERPRENEUR Success Series. So thank you for sharing that.
And the name of the etiquette program is Modern Day Etiquette.
Yes.
Yeah, and I've been doing that for over 10 years.
Yes, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
Wow, that's great. So be on the lookout for expanded services with AdPros, as well as Modern Day Etiquette.
My AdPros.
Yes, my AdPros. Wonderful. Well, I could talk for days with you about the amazing things that you're doing in our community. But before we leave, if you will, share with our viewers 3 success strategies.
For me, embrace change.
Yes.
I had to learn that with AdPros. Promotional products, when I first started with promotional products, there was not a lot of competition. In a matter of 5 years, the market just became saturated. And so you need to be open to change and constantly on the lookout and finding new ventures that you can kind of go into. So always be open to change. Do not be afraid of change. A lot of times we don't like change.
Yes.
We like to stay in the same place, but know that change is going to happen whether or not you like it or not. So it's better to be prepared for that. Also, I feel like you need to have a sounding board.
Yes.
I know you love Oprah.
I do.
I feel like Oprah has Gail.
Yes, absolutely.
And when you are in business, and I've been in business for 15 years, it's hard.
Yes.
It is very, very hard. There are times that you ask yourself, why did I decide to go into business for myself?
Yes.
And at those times, you need to have someone who you can go talk to and vent.
Yes.
And sometimes we don't need that person to give us advice, just someone to just sit there and listen to us.
That's right.
But if we do want advice, someone who's probably in the same field, or maybe they are self-employed as well, so they can understand what you're going through. So I think that's something. And also just having for me, a spiritual life.
Yes.
I think you always have to put God first. Be humble.
Right.
If you put God first, and that's what I have done, and make sure He's first in your life, then everything else will fall into place, I find.
That's right.
I feel that way. Truly.
Oh, Erica, thank you so much for pouring into our lives today. So remember the 3 success strategies to embrace change, have a sounding board, as well as a spiritual life. Thank you so very much, Erica, for joining us today. And thank you for being a part of the StarPOWERPRENEUR Success Series. I'm Angelique Feaster Evans, your StarPOWER Success Strategist. And until next time, here's to your shining success.